Honorable sisters, brothers, friends, this is the Midweek Happy Hour review of the previous God's Day, Sunday service and sermon that featured the obvious God and Christ divinity. Then the Mass to officially honor and celebrate the name Jesus, the beginning of Anno Domini, A.D., now internationally the Common Era, and or other calendar specific calendar years. My effort will be applying in these midweek happy hour discussions the raising of the state-of-the-art of the discipline of theology. Theology, the study of all beliefs. Well, what do I propose and or emphasize towards raising the state-of-the-art of the discipline of theology? 1. Dogma, defined as a belief that is accepted by the members of a group without being questioned or doubted. In my opinion, is a fact that in any issue there are various possibilities, a spectrum of what could be. There's describing continuous factors that you may have to consider. But if a governing authority has decreed that their dogma is, and as they decree, and it cannot be changed or altered, and it is the law, then I am forced to ask these questions. A, what if the dogma is incorrect? B, what if the dogma needs to be improved? I discuss and explain the reasons for my questions is that there was, of course, enforced dogmas and policies or practices. For instance, the dogma that the earth was the center of the universe and the sun and etc. revolved around the earth. Today, that has been corrected. A former Roman Catholic that I was, and at least 75% of my universal pure Christians is from the truths of the Roman Catholic religion. I have to question and discuss where they have that if you are married, you can't be a Roman Catholic priest. Now, I had a early morning vision. Was it a real vision or was I dreaming? If I was dreaming, I was also dreaming that I was awake and checked to see if I was awake and started to get up to actually touch the vision to see if that really was a vision that you could not see on the other side of this vision. It was the vision of Jesus Christ. Now, that plus other reasons, real good reasons, I wanted to be a Roman Catholic priest. married, and in fact, my marriage to be ever stronger. But I was told that the decision comes from Rome, and Rome continuous policy or dogma is that to be married, you cannot be a Roman Catholic priest. My opinion, Jesus Christ commanded to the fisherman Simon, "Thou art Petra," that's Latin for solid rock foundation, "and upon this rock I will build my church." Appears Jesus spoke mainly Aramaic, some Greek, Hebrew, and Latin. In English, St. Peter, he went to Rome and became the first bishop. It isn't Santo Petra, it's St. Peter's in English, and he became the first bishop of Rome and is the first pope of the Roman Catholic Church, where today is the tremendous St. Peter's Basilica, the center of Christianity. Now, from memory, Jesus Christ said to those he commanded to be his disciples, that they become his disciples, and they followed him. However, they still kept their domestic status. They remained the same. Important, St. Peter has to have been married, because Jesus Christ went to St. Peter's mother-in-law's home and healed her. To have a mother-in-law, obvious, St. Peter was married. Now, a married St. Peter was commanded by Christ to be his church and become the first pope. This preacher has this question: does that mean that to be part of the Roman Catholic Church, up and including being the Pope, that you have to be married? Appears not, because some of his disciples, especially those in the early 20s, were not married. Did some of them then marry later or live with a woman? Important, when did the dogma policy, if you are married, can't be a Catholic priest, when did that start? Without wasting my valuable time, this preacher states that dogma policy is wrong. Jesus Christ chose his disciples from various ages, vocations, and marital status. Appears the decision that a Roman Catholic priest cannot be married stems from the dogma that Jesus never married. Thus, to devote your life to be Jesus on earth, you are celibate. Just a minute, please. In my opinion, if you can be celibate and choose to be, that's acceptable. Only God can decide. You can try to be a Jesus Christ on earth, because that's your prerogative. But on earth, no matter who says what, this preacher teaches and preaches Jesus Christ was divine. Anyone can become a saint, especially true for those who died as martyr saints. At random, I recall a St. Ambrose church may have been in my hometown, Rochester, New York. Then there is Blessed John of Rochester, England, who refused to take what they had was an oath of supremacy, where the king is the head. The king is now the religious man, the religious head of the church. Martyr Mary Castellano, Rochester, New York, vividly described her vision of Jesus Christ. Powerful. And almost impossible to deny. Charles Castellano, Rochester, New York, then Los Angeles, California, was experimented to death by that criminally insane J. Edgar Homo Hoover. John Kennedy, brutally murdered on orders from that criminally insane J. Edgar Homo Hoover, because President Kennedy was going to replace the tyrant. Reverend Martin Luther King, murdered on orders of that criminally insane J. Edgar Homo Hoover, because King knew some personal secrets, and one of those was that J. Edgar Homo Hoover, that Hoover was from the Hoovers of a plantation, and Hoover was a pass for white. Birth certificate came years later and was said it appears false, a fake birth certificate, and that Millie Magee, capital MC, capital Ghee, proves he's a pass for white. Then Robert Kennedy was now obviously going to be the shoo-in candidate, elected president, and one of the first things he would do was to fire Hoover. And Hoover would never let anyone fire or get him out of that powerful position. So on orders from Hoover, Robert Kennedy, father of 11 children, was murdered by that criminally insane J. Edgar Homo Hoover. Now, there are live saints and martyr saints. There's Saint Juan Diego of Mexico, for his vision of Saint Mary, Mother of Jesus. The vision of, then there's the visionaries of Medjugorje, Yugoslavia, now Bosnia, Herzegovina. Some of those visionaries still have visions to this day. Are they martyred visionaries? In my opinion, they are, because of the constant testing and defamation by anti-religious quacks.